Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me here on Herzography. Before we get started, I do want to mention one thing. Normally I'd love to show you side-by-side comparison images from a 10-stop and a 13-stop and a 15-stop and even an 18-stop neutral density filter. Unfortunately, it's the middle of summer here in Arizona, and the extreme heat just isn't giving me the opportunity to create the kind of long exposure images that I would make for comparison. But this fall, when the temperatures cool down and conditions improve, I'll be heading back out to photograph the same scenes with each of these filters so that way you can see the differences for yourself. But until then, I thought it would be worthwhile to explain why I believe the 13-stop ND filter may be just the perfect choice for landscape photographers and why it has earned a permanent place in my bag. A 13-stop ND filter sits in what many landscape photographers consider the sweet spot because it gives you enough exposure reduction to create dramatic movement in most lighting conditions without becoming so dark that it's difficult to compose, focus, or calculate exposures. Looking back for years when most of us were using screw-in filters, the standard ND kit consisted of 3 filters, a 3-stop, a 6-stop, and a 10-stop filter, and many kits still do today. Those 3 filters covered almost every situation, and if you needed more density, you would simply stack them together. Back then, stacking screw-in filters wasn't always enjoyable, if ever. You had to thread one filter into another, hope they didn't bind together, and then try to remove them after the shoot from both the camera and each other, usually needing a special filter wrench. It worked, but it wasn't exactly convenient. Today's magnetic filter systems have changed all of that. Stacking filters is now quick and effortless. In just a second or two, you can snap a 3-stop and a 10-stop together and create a 13-stop setup. So does that mean that there's no reason to own a dedicated 13-stop filter? I don't think so. Just because stacking has become easier doesn't mean it's the best approach. Whenever possible, I still use the right filter for the job instead of combining filters to get there. A dedicated 13-stop filter gives you a simpler setup. Fewer glass surfaces for light to pass through, less chance of reflection or flare, reduced risk of vignetting on wide-angle lenses, and one less filter to keep clean in the field. Until recently, I would stack a 10 and a 3-stop filter together to get 13 stops, and I absolutely stack them when I need to. That's one of the great advantages of a magnetic system. But if I know that I'm heading out specifically to shoot multi-minute long exposures, I'd much rather be reaching for a single filter, a 13-stop filter. It's cleaner, faster, and gives me one less thing to think about while I'm concentrating on making the photograph. So let's take a closer look at the darker NDs. The 10-stop filter has become an industry standard for years. It is normally best for overcast days, timing around sunset, sunrise, waterfalls and streams, moderate cloud movement. Typical shutter speeds are that if you were shooting at a 30th of a second, now you're at 30 seconds. Or if you were at a quarter of a second, you're down to 4 minutes. The downside is that on a bright, sunny day, 10 stops often isn't enough to produce those silky 2 to 5 minute exposures. you may only end up with a 8 to 20 second exposure. Now the 13-stop ND filter. Adding just 3 more stops doesn't sound like much, but every stop doubles the exposure time. So a 13-stop filter allows shutter speeds 8 times longer than a 10-stop filter. For example, you have a scene where maybe you're shooting it at a 30th of a second and you decide to use a 10-stop neutral density filter. That'll increase your time to 32 seconds. But if you use the 13-stop ND filter, now your time is going to go up to 4 minutes from 30 seconds. This is why 13 stops is so popular. It consistently lets you reach that magic 2 to 5 minute range that produces completely smooth water, long streaking clouds, empty streets, vanishing people, dreamlike landscapes. And you can achieve those times even in bright daylight without stopping down your lens all the way. Then there's the 15-stop ND filter, which is 4 times darker than a 13-stop. It can be very useful when shooting bright midday sun, and you specifically want a 5 to 15 minute exposure, photographing ocean scenes with fast-moving clouds. However, it can become limiting because focusing becomes harder, viewfinders get extremely dark, exposure calculations now become more critical, and cloud movement can become so blurred that you just lose the cloud texture. Then we move up to an 18-stop, and an 18-stop ND filter is 32 times darker than a 13-stop filter. So these are extremely useful for long exposures of 10 to 30 minutes used in architectural photography, removing crowds, fine art minimalism. But they are rarely needed for everyday landscape photography because composing can be very difficult. Autofocus won't work. Exposure times become very long. Wind can even move your tripod during the exposure. And during those long exposures, especially in the summertime, sensor heat and hot pixels become more noticeable. So why is 13 stops considered the Goldilocks filter? Many landscape photographers feel that 13 stops offers the best balance because it produces those 2 to 5 minute exposures in a wide range of daylight conditions, creates beautiful cloud streaks without losing all cloud detail, completely smooths moving water, doesn't require extremely tiny apertures. It works from sunrise through late afternoon and is still practical to compose and focus with. So the question we hear a lot is, why not just stack the 10 and the 3-stop filter together? At first glance, stacking a 10 and 3-stop filters seem the obvious solution. After all, a 10 and a 3 equals 13 stops. While that works mathematically, it isn't always the best option in the field. With a single 13-stop filter, you're shooting through only one piece of optical glass. Stacking 2 filters together means the light has to pass through 2 additional glass surfaces, increasing the chances of reflections, flaring, ghosting, and even slight loss of image contrast. Even with high-quality, multi-coated filters like these from Maven, every extra piece of glass introduces another opportunity for unwanted optical effects. A single filter is also faster and easier to use. This is especially helpful when the light is changing quickly during sunrise or sunset. Another advantage is reducing the chance of vignetting. Stacking filters together moves the front of the filter further away from the lens, which can cause dark corners, particularly on ultra-wide angle lenses. A single 13-stop filter keeps the filter closer to the lens, helping maintain an even image density across the frame. Finally, a dedicated 13-stop filter eliminates one more point of failure. Two stacked filters have twice the opportunity for dust, fingerprints, water spots, or slight misalignment between the two filters. I know it's happened to me where I have put the two filters together like this, and I'll clean one side and I'll clean the other. And I totally forgot that what I really needed to do was to take them apart and clean the insides before putting them together. So is stacking ever a good idea? Well, absolutely. If you own a 10-stop and a 3-stop filter, stacking is a perfectly valid way to achieve a 13-stop effect without having to buy another filter. In fact, many photographers do exactly that, including myself until now. However, if you know you're regularly going to be shooting long exposures in that 2 to 5 minute range, a dedicated 13-stop filter offers a cleaner optical path, a simpler workflow, less chance of vignetting, and fewer opportunities for flare and reflections. It's a small difference on paper, but one that can make a noticeable difference when you're striving for the highest image quality. For someone like me who enjoys creating long exposures with moving water and dramatic skies, a 13-stop filter is especially versatile. It gives you enough density to make those long exposures in bright daylight while avoiding the extreme exposure times and workflow challenges that come with the 15 and 18 ND filters. This is why 13 stops has become so popular. It consistently lets you reach that magic 2 to 5 minute range that produces those beautiful effects. And you can achieve those effects even in bright daylight without stopping your lens all the way down. So rather than thinking of the 13-stop filter as just another ND filter, this is a purpose-built tool for long exposure landscape photography that delivers the desired exposure time in a single filter instead of trying to rely on stacking combinations. So one final note before we wrap up. At the time of recording this video, the Maven 13-stop ND filter is only available in 77mm and 82mm sizes. If your primary landscape lens uses one of those filter sizes, you're all set. If you're looking for a smaller size, perhaps for your smartphone or lens with a smaller filter thread, those sizes are expected to become available in the future. But in the meantime, my recommendation is to purchase the filter in the size that fits your primary camera and then simply use one of Maven's threadless magnetic step-up rings. This allows you to use the same 72 or 82mm filter on smaller lenses and even on your smartphone if you're using a filter adapter that accepts screw-on filters. So for example, on my smartphone here, I'm using this filter attachment that has a 67mm thread. I put the magnetic ring on from Maven. This particular one, I have two of them. I have one that just is standard magnet strength, and another one like this one here with the exposed magnets that is the extra strength ring. Either one will work. It just really depends on your usage and how much bouncing around you're going to do in the field. So the way this works is that, as I said, this step-up ring is threadless. There's no threads anywhere. It's just all magnets. So what happens is you put this on like so, and it's on. There's no threading. This just simply goes on like that. Then your filter, and this one's an 82, would just magnetically snap on like so. It is that convenient. And many times I'll take my filter like this and leave it in my bag. Yes, I'll put on a lens cap like so, and I'll leave it in my bag. So that way, when I'm out and I want to shoot with my phone, then all I have to do is just pop it on like that. If I'm wanting to use some of Maven's other 82 millimeter specialized filters, this is why I normally go around using the extra strength. Now, the extra strength really has a lot of hold to it. So many times the whole filter holder comes off, and I have to hold it in place if I want to just take off the step-up ring. But this gives me the opportunity to use some of Maven's other 82 millimeter and 72 millimeter specialized filters, like this one here, that is called the kaleidoscope filter. There we go. So now you can see that, or see it like this. And it's got a good amount of weight to it, but when I put it on the filter adapter like this, it stays on because of that extra strength filter adapter. And really handy, it's really handy to be able to put these larger filters, and as you can see, they stay on very well. But to put these larger filters that you'll be using on your pro camera right on your phone or smaller thread lens. So this is one of the things I really like about the Maven magnetic filter system. Rather than buying multiple filters in different sizes that I've seen many camera store salesmen do, you can invest in one high quality filter size filters, use magnetic step-up rings to make it compatible with your other camera gear, even if you own a phone. Thanks for joining me here on Herzography. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Please be sure to sign up for my monthly newsletter using the link in the description below. Until next time, let's all get out and shoot.